It's so funny, right? Every time I do a video, I always consciously think, how do I start this? Like, hello. Right, I'm going to talk a bit about one of the themes that Venus Retrograde might be bringing into your awareness, and something that I've actually had to do major healing and unraveling with. So, Venus going retrograde. Venus represents beauty, our aesthetics, self-worth, our values, what we think of ourselves. And one of the things that I've actually been noticing that I've been struggling with, is my appearance. So throughout my whole life, I was top tier vain, like my value and worth was 100% down to the way that I looked. Even though, like I went to great lengths. I spent thousands, and I mean thousands of pounds on beauty treatments and products, like to the extent of, like, I'd say nearly £2,000 a month on makeup, Botox, hair extensions, hair colour, eyebrows, eyelashes, nails, toenails, fake tan. Like, I was all in with that. And I'm not dissing people who get this stuff. I still get my eyebrows tattooed. I paint my nails. I colour my hair. But over the past, 5 years, bit by bit by bit, I have, kind of, shortened the amount of stuff I get done. And my point is that when I was, full-blown having all of this stuff done, I had the worst level of confidence you've ever seen in your whole entire life. So, if you're getting this stuff done because it builds you up and makes you feel better, then great. But like I said, I was spending £2,000 a month and I had the shittest confidence and value in myself that I ever had in my whole entire life. So really, it weren't really doing what it was supposed to do, was it? And like I said, I always valued, my value always was from beauty. Like, that was where I thought I led with that all the time. Like, even as a really young kid, I even won an award on a skiing trip for being the most vain person, because I fell over while skiing and my ski jacket, I had to take it off. And then my teacher was like, what the fuck have you got in this jacket, Laura? It's so heavy. And as I was pulling it out, I had a comb, hairspray, lip gloss, mascara. It was like, you're going skiing, mate. When are you going to need to use hairspray? And I was like, you don't know, honestly. And then I'd get up at 5 o'clock as a kid. My sister used to get the raving, because I'd get up at 5, put my music on and blow dry my fringe. And she'd be like, what the fuck? And even then, when I had my children, I would not leave this house without a full face of makeup on, ever. I just wouldn't do it. I would get up, before I'd take my kids to school, I would get up and I would be immaculate, mate, up at school. I used to look banging, don't get me wrong. 24/7, I looked fit. But I had shit confidence. So, what was it doing? It was making me very tired, costing me a lot of money, not really doing anything for me. I might have looked nice to everyone else, but I did not see my own beauty because I didn't value myself. So this is what I mean by it's very, very, very deep for me. And learning to kind of love who I truly was. And a lot of the time, my daughter actually used to bring it to my attention, because she's visually impaired. She can't see very well. She often sees people from their outline. She recognises you by your outline rather than the specific details of you. And as she's been, she's nearly 18 now, and the comparison of her being that age and me is so different. She's just gone on holiday and I'm like, do you want to get your hair coloured? Do you want to get your eyebrows done? Do you want to do this? She's like, nah, it's all right, mate. She's never ever been one for vanity. And I don't know whether that's because she can't see. So to her, the value is not in the way you look. She often says to me, I like people for the way they feel and, how the way they make me feel, not for the way they look, Mum. That's not important. And she's never been one for, named clothes or anything like that. I used to be on her birthday, she would go JD Sports and I'll get you some nice Nike leggings and that. And she'd be like, I just go Primark in it, Mum. I just need black leggings. I'd be like, honestly, she teaches me so much, my daughter. She's amazing. And that was often a point of reflection for me, like, wow, like I really do base my worth on the clothes I wear, the way I look, my appearance. Like I said, she often brings that to my attention. And this is, like I say, this is something I've been working on for a long time. But recently, since Venus has gone in retrograde, like I've actually been struggling, with getting older and having wrinkles. Like I don't like it. And I thought about it the other day. I was like, oh, shall I get Botox again? And I was like, why? Like, where's this coming from, Laura? I know, like, the higher perspective of these thoughts and feelings of where they're coming from. So I wouldn't go and do that. But I have actually been struggling with that. Like, my wrinkles and, like, teeth and, like, my appearance, just my appearance in general has been bothering me. And it hasn't really bothered me for a long time. But obviously where Venus is going in retrograde is proper pushing me to be like, well, look at this then. Hello. Like, and I wanted to bring this to your attention because while not only is this an important point for all women to be like, your value is a lot deeper than the way you look. We won't look like this for the rest of our lives. Like, I will always change and grow and I will look older, and there is value in my wrinkles for a lot of laughter, a lot of fucking stress, mate, I can tell you that, and wisdom. Like, I'm the wisest, more confident, the best version of myself I've ever been in my life. So that's kind of where, like, that should come from, not from, oh, you got wrinkles, so that's it, you're written off. But it runs deeper than that. It's actually like deep beliefs that we have. Like, we fear getting older because age, like getting older means we're getting closer to death. To a lot of us, is a deep belief of that. So we do everything in our power to not look older because we don't want to get older. We don't want to be older, but being older means being wiser. Do you know what I mean? And also because as women, it was important to be pretty, to be immaculate, the way you presented yourself to the world. Men, not only that you'd get chosen by a man, it gave you status, you turned heads. Like, you got to think for women, like, again, me and my daughter was talking about this, how different cultures, like, makes me feel sad that, like, I am all very pro women independence and stuff, but actually the world we live in this country and in my, like, experience is that I have a lot of independence compared to other women who are not allowed to speak or learn or do or be anything other than, like, a silent person that it's just horrible. It makes me really sad that they don't get to be who they are, but that's their cultures. Like, my daughter said to me, Laura, Mum, that's their cultures. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, women needed to be seen and not heard. Like, and looking pretty was so important if you wanted to get chosen, if you wanted to get noticed, if you wanted to get heard or seen. So regardless of the fact of the personal beliefs that we will hold around it, like I said, mine was because that was all I valued about myself, was the way I looked. We also are dealing with deep ancestral trauma that is through lineages of, and just for women in general. So it's so important that we can try and learn to love ourselves. So I'm not saying don't look good. There's nothing better than getting dressed up, putting makeup on, feeling sexy, and all women deserve to feel sexy and beautiful. But if you only feel sexy and beautiful when you are presented perfectly, then that means it can be taken away by one person saying a comment, by someone who not appreciate. If you don't truly deeply value yourself for more than your physical vessel, not only does that mean you're attached to being the body, which we're not the body, it just leaves you so open to feeling shit about yourself. And true confidence and true beauty really does come from within. Like, there's thousands of proper fit hot birds in the world. Like, girls are beautiful. The female body is amazing. It is sexy. It is hot. There is endless amounts of girls in this world that are pretty, but you yourself hold a unique blueprint that is only you. So if you're only basing your value on your looks, you're never going to really tap into that uniqueness and, like, what actually you can offer the world, because you don't see past that. Plus, as well, it just leads to lots of wounding and stuff. And, my daughter is a exception. Like, this is really bad, the society that we live in. Like, social media and the way it is portrayed that you need to look like this to be anything. It makes everyone just feel shit about themselves. Like, so this is going to be super, 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 like, in your awareness over the next 4 weeks. And it might have even been happening because when a planet goes retrograde, we actually start feeling the effects of it about a week or so before. So you might have actually been feeling like a bit down on yourself, like not feeling very worthy, like really aware of your imperfections in the way you look, your aesthetic, like the way you present yourself, like, and that's good because, you know, like, you want to be presenting yourself as the best way possible, but look behind that, look at the beliefs behind it, the why. Look at the why, basically, which is like what I'm being pushed to do, like I said, because definitely I've had loads of times where I'm like, oh, mate, I need to get some Botox. I've got some lines going down, man. Like, and that's just, those beliefs are diminishing, believe it. Like, it's not just the sentence. Like, every time you're saying that to yourself, your inner self is like kind of crushed of like, oh. So be very aware of these thoughts and feelings and try and sit with yourself of like, why do I want to get this done? What does it mean to me? And like I said, that I was like, when I was like, oh, I've got wrinkles, I really went back with that belief and was like trying to show love to that part of myself. Yeah, but the wrinkles mean laughter. The wrinkles mean the wisdom that you've earned, that you're getting older. Like, that's part and parcel of being a human. You're not always going to look like a fucking fresh young bird. That's just not realistic. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't align with my values anymore anyway, to spend all of that money on all of that stuff. Like I said, I like to look nice, but I love myself whether I look fit or whether I look like a piece of shit. And if I don't love myself, that's when I do mirror work or spend time with myself. Like, what is this? Like, really look at that part of my body and be like, okay, let's look at it. What is it like I don't like about that? And also a big tip about Venus retrograde is, because we will be feeling like this, you might feel inclined to, like, I don't know, get a beauty treatment, or they often say don't get no surgery done during Venus retrograde, because we could be operating as our wounded self, because the retrograde's asking you to, like, go within and look at these parts of yourself. That after, when Venus goes direct in a couple of weeks, you might be like, fuck, why did I get that done? I actually look weird. And like I said, when I had Botox, yeah, granted, I didn't have wrinkles, but I fully had one brow like this. I always looked a bit like this, and my face was so fucking solid. Yeah, it looked fresh, but it was not natural at all. And I do look a bit weird in my photos. I'm a bit like, I can't explain it. I'm a really expressionable person, yeah. I'm always, it's like, moving my face and my hands. I'm all like that, yeah. So when I was like this, it was like, so fucking solid. It just weren't natural, and it weren't me. And again, I'm not dissing people who are getting this stuff done. This is just my experience with it. So be very aware of this and really spend some time, like, reflecting on, like, your inner beauty, your inner values, and seeing beyond the physical vessel. So yeah, this is one of the things that Venus retrograde might be bringing into your awareness.